Disgusting. If you're an avid golfer or a weekend warrior, you might be looking for a driver that goes further and straighter than your current driver. And you're probably wondering if the Taylormade Stealth 2 is that driver. Well, I'm in the exact same boat as you guys, and that's why I'm so excited to review this Taylormade Stealth 2. So last year I reviewed the Taylormade Stealth 1 and it was in my top 2 drivers of 2023. So I have some high expectations of this new Taylormade Stealth 2. So I got into the golf industry when I was only 13 years old. I was selling golf clubs and Taylormade was always one of those brands that really spoke to me. They looked different and I felt that they were probably the most progressive brand at that time, and they've kind of kept that same upwards trajectory. So even though Taylormade has a soft spot in my heart, I'm going to let the data tell you if this is a good driver. In this video, we're looking at 3 different Taylormade heads: the Stealth 2, the Stealth 2 HD, and the Stealth 2 Plus. I'm gonna hit these 3 drivers and show you the data, and I'll tell you why you might wanna choose one driver head over the other. Okay, so let's get into these drivers. So Taylormade gives us 3 different driver heads to choose from. So the first driver they give us is the Stealth 2 Core. The second driver is the Stealth 2 HD. When I'm looking at these drivers side by side, they look almost identical. The biggest difference in the HD, which is their draw bias driver, is the weight is moved closer to the heel. So if you're someone who traditionally slices the ball, the HD might be a better option for you. The Stealth Plus looks the most different from the other 2 drivers because it has a movable weight system. This sliding weight track allows you to move the weight to either a draw or fade bias based on your ball flight preferences. So why are they calling the Stealth 2 carbon woods? Well, believe it or not, these drivers have way more carbon than the first generation of Stealth. The Stealth Core and the Stealth HD have over 50% more carbon, and the Stealth Plus has 75% more carbon. Okay, so what does all of this mean? Because chances are not one of you is gonna go to the golf store and say, hey, how much carbon's on that driver head? So why carbon? Carbon is super lightweight and it allows these engineers to take away weight where you don't need it and add weight where you do. So in theory, these drivers should be more forgiving, mishits should go straighter, and they should go further. It's a lot of promise, so let's find out if they're living up to the hype. So my opinion on how it looks is I do think it looks really good. From address, you can see that red face, so that's just something to keep in mind. The crown is glossy. Right behind the face, it does have a matte black. I think I prefer that. And then there is the Taylormade logo to help you line it up. And then there's kind of a half circle of red right around the back of the driver. If you're not a fan of the red and black color combo, you are still able to customize these drivers. From my understanding, the only drivers that you can upgrade is the Stealth 2 Plus. Okay, first hit with the Stealth 2 Core. Let's go. Hey, there we go. Okay, first swing with the Stealth 2 that actually felt really good, and obviously I painted the line, like those are results that you want. Looking at these numbers right off the bat, pretty big ball speed, 171 ball speed. My average ball speed is probably like 167, 168. I can get it as high as 180 if I'm really going at it. That was definitely not a 180 swing, but I noticed the spin was high. So for my first swing to be at 3,500 RPM, I wanna get that down like 1,000 RPM. Carry 297, 313 total, pretty average numbers for me. The biggest thing that I noticed is the sound. So far already, I think this sounds better than the Stealth 1. I found the Stealth 1 to be just kind of muted. It didn't have that pop sound. Based on that first hit, the sound has definitely improved. Okay, right there, the spin is gonna show you how that affects distance. So with that second hit, I carried it 313, which was about as far as my previous hit, and it rolled out to 337. That RPM did come down 1,000. So I'll have to see if that first hit was kind of just a fluke or if it's gonna consistently jump up and down. That'll be interesting to see. So of the 3 drivers, the Stealth 2 Core should be right in the middle for spin. The HD driver should be the highest spin, which has the highest MOI, and then the Stealth 2 Plus should have the lowest spin. I personally prefer a low spin driver. I'll be interested to see what I get out of both to see how the spin varies. For all my data, I'm using a TrackMan. The ball is a Pro V1 RCT ball, and I'm filming in Calgary, Alberta. The elevation here is about 3,300 feet, and that's what we have the elevation set to on our TrackMan. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Brandon. I'm a golf consumer just like you guys, and I play off of a scratch. So if it's your first time here, smash that subscribe button. So the shaft that I'm using in all of these hits is the Hazardous Black Gen 4. This is a stock option that Taylormade offers. This shaft alone is like a $450 shaft. So they are not cheaping out by any means for these shafts that they're giving you as stock options. So I'm gonna go through the data really quick. I felt like that session felt really good and it sounds a lot better to me than the Stealth 1. Sound is playing a really big factor in how I would choose a driver. I was kind of on the fence last year with the Stealth 1 because I just didn't love the sound. So if you're someone that enjoys the sound of the driver, the Stealth 2 might be a really good option for you. All these numbers down here at the bottom are my averages. You can see my dispersion. I'm obviously not a touring pro. I was favoring the right side. A couple did get closer to the center, and I had one miss hit that was a little bit pulley. My average numbers down here, so I was averaging 119 club head speed, which is probably about 1 mile an hour faster than normal. Ball speed was definitely up, but my spin average was 3,000. So if I was in a fitting, there's a couple things I would have to do. I could maybe tweak the driver setting. I have it at a 9 degree. Maybe if I lofted it down to an 8, I could bring the spin down. Carrying 306, total 326. Those are pretty big numbers, I would say. Let's look at my dispersion. This will be interesting for a forgiveness standpoint, okay? So the tighter this circle is the tighter our dispersion. For the majority, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50% of my drivers were in just a couple yards of each other. My furthest right and my furthest left, that's a pretty big variance, I would say. At least I only had one go over here. So from a forgiveness standpoint, if 1 out of 10 hits is in the direction that I don't normally go, I would say that that's fairly forgiving. Okay, should we get into the next one? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, the next driver we're looking at is the Stealth 2 HD. HD meaning high draw. If you want the most forgiving driver, you should be looking at the HD model. If you're kind of a weekend warrior and you tend to slice the ball, this HD might be a good option. For me, this is probably not the driver head that I would gravitate towards. Because I'm looking for low spin, this HD is actually the highest spinning. So from the Stealth 2 core to the HD, my spin should go up. You saw the majority of my hits were to the right of the line. I'll be interested to see if the weight near the heel is correcting my ball closer to center. Let's go. Felt pulley. There we go. Well, the first one went left, so we're 1 for 1 on the draw. How funny is that my spin's down? Felt way over there. Well, kind of held it off. Went nowhere. Look at my spin, eh? Okay, so if you've seen the Stealth 1, one of the changes they made was in the face. So it is still a red twist face, but they made it lighter. And they made it lighter specifically around the perimeter of the driver. Making it thinner on the perimeter of the face should help our miss hits. Okay guys, the Stealth 2 HD is as advertised. I hit more drives to the left. I did hit it slightly higher, so it's called high draw, right? So my launch angle with the HD was 12.6, with the core it was 12.2, so it did go higher. And you can see on my dispersion that with the HD, I hit 4 left and 5 right. Still yet to paint the center line, but that's a tribute to my golf game. I would say that the sound in the HD was identical to the core. So if you hit the core and you like the sound of it, but you're having some stay to the right, the HD might be a pretty good option for you. What I noticed in my number difference is that I was swinging the HD slower. With the core, I got it to around 119 average and 117. So I think with the HD, you're giving up some ball speed and some club head speed for forgiveness. So if forgiveness is the key element you're looking for in the driver, the HD might be the best option for you. On to the next, on to the next. Okay guys, we're on to the Stealth 2 Plus. Visually, it still looks the same as the other two drivers at address. I do notice one big difference. It feels heavier. I'm thinking because we have this movable weight track in the back, I can really feel that weight behind the face. For my first 10 hits, I'm gonna keep it on neutral. Then I'm considering doing another 10 hits, moving it onto the draw bias. You've seen most of my hits are going to the right, so I really want to know if this movable weight is going to make a difference. I think that's something you guys would want to know. If you're in a range session, you're hitting a bunch to the right, can you move this weight before the round and you start finding more fairways? So let's get into it.
Pretty good, bro.
Yeah, when I catch it on the screws, it feels the most pure. 1500 spin, holy. That should go to the right. Well, this is gonna be a good test, right?
Yeah.
Because if the majority are going to the right, but I can just keep it on the draw setting.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good miss hit. Still low spin though. Okay guys, that was a really good session. I'm trying to explain the feeling that I had. With that weight right behind the club face, the ones that I hit square felt better than the previous two drivers. I did obviously have some miss hits, so let's look at my dispersion. I had one miss hit, which is kind of the same characteristic as the Stealth 2 Core. I had one kind of low on the face, pulley left, but the majority are favoring that right side. My club head speed is back up at 118, and so far the Stealth Core, I actually had the highest club head speed with. Ball speed was almost right on par with the Stealth Core. It actually picked up some ball speed, but look at my spin. My spin came down huge, averaging 2400 spin, which is optimal for me. The HD was up to 3200 and the Core was over 3000. So the Stealth 2 Plus is definitely the lowest spin head. So there's no cap when talking about the spin. Let's look at the dispersion. Okay, that's pretty good dispersion. Hey, that is probably the best dispersion I've had out of all the drivers. I had that one miss hit. So if I have one miss hit out of 10, I will take that. I could take this to the course. That's crazy, okay? HD, the circle doesn't even fit in the screen. Again, higher spin driver is not for me. The Core, a little bit tighter, but look at the Core between the Stealth 2 Plus. Holy, averaging 307 carry, 335 total. The last thing that I wanted to do is, because I'm favoring the right side of the fairway and because the Stealth 2 Plus has that movable weight system, I'm gonna get a collection of hits with the draw setting on the movable weight to see if that gets me even closer to center. This will be a really cool test. Holy.
Let's go.
How fast that is. Fuck, that feels good. Okay, since making this change to the draw setting, this is mind-blowing. I'm painting the line, my miss is only just off the center line, and I'm hitting draws, and it's going further, and my club head speed is up, and my ball speed is up. Crazy. Disgusting.
Fuck.
Oh my God. Guys, this is mind-blowing. Let me show you this. We started with the Stealth 2 Core. Okay, look at this dispersion. We then hit the HD. Not great dispersion. We then hit the Stealth Plus. And from here, I said, you know what? I'm favoring the right side. Let's just move it to the draw setting. Look at this. Let's look at my dispersion, okay? How gross is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, all within a couple yards of the line. Still favoring the right side, one still left. That, compared to that, look how much tighter the oval is, okay? Same swing, I just moved it to the draw setting. So the fact that you can go from kind of spraying it and then tightening it up just by moving the weight, I'm kind of lost for words. And let's not forget to mention our data differences. Stealth 2 Plus, without changing the draw weight, I was swinging at 118. When I moved it, it's up to 119. So I'm picking up club head speed. Ball speed 172. Now that I'm closing the face a bit more, my ball speed's going up and my spin came down. 2400 got to 2200, which is even better. Look at the distance. 307 carry without changing it. 312 carry. Now this is crazy. 335 total. Again, I'm at 3,200 feet elevation. So if this number is like so crazy to you, just take into account the elevation. 335 without changing it. And on the draw setting, 344. I picked up almost 10 yards and I'm hitting it straighter and it's tighter. And look how consistent that is. My favorite driver of all time was the Taylormade M3. I played that driver for like 5 years. This Stealth 2 Plus is like the M3 on steroids. Coming into this review, I had my guard up, probably like a lot of you watching this video. Last year they did the Stealth 2 with the carbon face. It's different and it's new from the sim. There was some improvements. Then they released the Stealth 2. They look kind of the same. They have a lot of the same features, but it's a better driver. I'm speechless. Like, this is so cool. And this is why all of you should be getting fit for drivers. You might be looking online on the Taylormade website and thinking, oh, I want the Stealth 2 core with this shaft. Go for a fitting. Hit everything. Before I hit everything, I already thought I was going towards the Stealth Plus, so I'm right for that. The shaft worked out for me, and all I had to do was change it to the draw setting. Potentially, in a fitting, my numbers could improve. Potentially, I could put a different shaft in it. Potentially, I could change the hosel. But the fact that I did this all on my own, that's some of the best 10 driver hits I've probably ever had. If you're still on the fence about the Taylormade Stealth 2, here's another driver I just reviewed.
We're both legit surprised.
Yeah.
We were kind of like, yeah, it's like before that.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, it's a good driver.
Yeah.
But when we saw that, we're like, whoa,